Welcome to the Mindset Unleashed Today podcast. My name is Tommy Gucciardo, and I'm excited to share my insights and experiences with you to help you shift your mindset and improve your life. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be exploring different areas of life, discussing how to make positive changes. Now, I'll be doing this by interviewing guests who can provide additional perspectives and their experiences. I believe that by making a mindset shift, we can all unleash our full potential and create the lives we want to live. I hope you'll join me on this journey. How you doing, everybody? I want to welcome you back to the Mindset Unleashed Today podcast. I'm Tommy Gucciardo, and I'm your host. So, we talk a lot about mindset on this podcast and how to shift our mindset and how to get better. And I wanted to talk about a growth mindset today, right? And what that means to me and what that means, to have a growth mindset, how to get better on a daily basis. And, I was reading something by somebody called Carol Dweck. She's a psychologist from Stanford. And she said people believe that their most basic abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. Brains and talents are just the starting point, right? So, so what does that tell me, right? It tells me that a growth mindset, coupled with motivation to improve, and a commitment to personal growth, and also the time to put, developing that skill and drive, that brings us positive results, right? And, she says, brains and talent are just the starting point, right? So, all right, we have a little talent, you have a little brains. What do you do with it, right? How do you shift that mindset? How do you change that mindset? How do you get yourself to the next level? And how do you constantly grow, right? Because that's the problem. A lot of times in life, we become stagnant and we don't grow and we don't keep moving forward and we get stuck in that same rut over and over. And then what happens to our mindset? It goes backwards, right? And we become negative and we become, incapable of learning, right? So a couple of things that I do to help my mindset and help it grow on a daily basis. I have three things that I do, right? And the first thing is, and I talk about this in a lot of my podcasts, and I think this is like the to success, this is one of the main things, and it's I think it's it's a building block and it's a keystone, right? And that is taking those failures and making them into learning situations, right? Nobody's perfect. I'm sorry. I don't care. You want to tell me you're perfect? That's great. Nobody's perfect. No matter what we do, we could have the best plans. We could write out the best, goals. We could follow them to the T, and something's going to happen along the way. Whether it's intentional or unintentional, something will happen along the way, right? And the key to success is what happens when that happens. What happens when you fail? What happens when you hit the brick wall? What happens when, you don't get the funding that you need? What happens when, the lights are off in your business? Something happens with the electric. What happens when you didn't hit the goal that you wanted or you didn't hit the numbers that you wanted, right? What happens then? How do you take that negativity and make it positive? You learn from it. You don't run from it, right? And if you don't run from it and you learn from it, that's how you get better. That's how your mindset grows. Because we could be really, really negative as people, right? And we could take that and say, I told you it's not going to happen. I told you I'm going to fail, right? I knew it, right? But take that positive, take that negative and turn it into a positive. Learn from it, right? Don't sulk. Don't be in your feelings. Take it and learn from it, right? And if you could do that, that's a big step in growing your mindset, right? Learning experience is the only way we're going to grow as a person, right? Even like, what I'm doing here, with a podcast. I didn't know what I was doing when I started. I just started talking. I didn't know about cameras. I didn't know about, lighting. I don't know about all that stuff, but I learned, right? And not saying that it's where I want to be right now. It will get to where I want to be, but it's, there's bumps and bruises. I might not, my podcast might be 8 minutes when I wanted it to be 12 minutes. It might not sound good, right? My lighting might be wrong. You know what? But I learn. I look, I learn, and I tweak and I get better. That's how we grow our mindset, right? That's how we're able to grow as people. And the second thing I do, and I find a lot of people run away from it, actually go out and seek advice from other people. Seek their feedback, whether it's in a relationship, whether in business, whether with your family. Seek advice, right? But just don't go to the person that's going to yes you, because we all have those people that are going to tell you, you're doing great, you're phenomenal, you're the best thing in the world, right? There's people out there that are going to tell you the truth. Seek those people out. Find them. And you know what? Like I said before, you might get negative feedback, right? Don't take that negative feedback and cry over it, or, say the person's wrong. Take it, look at it, right? Go to another person. Find out what's going on, right? See what they're saying, right? What happens if the same thing keeps on popping up? Then you know there's something you have to work on, right? So take that negative, take the positives, and grow with them, right? I find so many people in business, they get a Google review, they get a Yelp review, or they get a Facebook review, and it's negative. And they flip out. They have 99 positive, feedback, and that one negative ruins their whole day. Don't let it ruin your whole day. Find out why they're negative. Maybe it's something that's constantly coming up that you don't know about, right? Maybe they said something about your staff. Maybe they said something about you. Maybe you're really looking at yourself. But take that and grow from that. That's the way your mindset changes, right? We learn from the situations. We have to learn on a daily basis, right? Like we were talking about at the beginning, brains and talent are not enough. Or just to start, or just to start, right? We have to constantly learn, constantly work, constantly get better, right? And I find this to be something that I have to work on a lot. And the last thing that I have to change my vocabulary, right? There's a couple of things that, that have to change in my vocabulary. And that's I can and yet. Because there's a lot of times is I don't get this. I don't understand this. This is too hard, or this, I can't learn this, right? But how about saying I can learn this? How about I don't understand it yet? Right? If we change our wording, if we change our vocabulary, that's a big thing, because if we keep on talking negative and we keep on feeding ourselves negativity, how are we going to grow? How's our mindset going to shift? How are we going to change? Because we're always going to be going to the negative instead of feeding into the positive, right? And that's what we have to do. I find society is too tough on themselves right now. Right away, everybody gives up, everybody fails, everybody, I deserve this, I didn't get this. How about say I have to work hard toward this? I can get this, And these are things that I need to change also, just like everybody else. I take feedback also, But, and remember, the best is yet to come, right? The best is yet to come. So, you keep on striving better. For a long time, my mindset was always negative. It wasn't growing. Yes, I had brains. Yes, I have some talent, right? But my brain wasn't being used correctly. It was being used negative because I lived in addiction. I wasn't freeing myself. I wasn't freeing my thoughts. I was stagnant. The drugs kept me down. Every single problem I had was amplified, right? And I just became into a negative, dark place where there was no positivity. Now today, I have a light. Now today, my mind is growing on a daily basis, right? I love having a growth mindset. I love being able to learn today. I love being able to, work hard at my goals. I love being able to change my thought process. So like I share this in every single one of my podcasts at the end, if I help one person today, if I can get to one person, just touch one person, I've done my job today, right? And please, if you can, the only way to get out there and have a community and change everybody's mindset and work together is by liking, by sharing, by subscribing, by commenting on posts, and let me know what you think and how I could help you, right? And just I'm here for you guys, right? If you need anything, please don't hesitate. I'm here, okay? So with that being said, thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a great week.